Hi, I'm Justin Prime. I'm a slightly overweight, severely balding 37-year-old man with braces. Welcome to the Jprimecast, where I look back at my creative week and take stock of what went right and what went wrong. This is episode number 20. Welcome. So who am I talking to tonight? Floating Rock Comics. Hi, Floating Rock Comics. This person's been in my newsfeed a pretty good amount. Appreciate all the interaction. I like this. Floating Rock Comics follows 380 people. I'm happy to be one of those because so many people I find now because I DM everyone that follows me, and I find that people are following thousands of people, and it just becomes meaningless. So I can tell Floating Rock Comics puts a little thought into who they follow, and I appreciate being one of those people. Thanks for following me. This is dedicated to you, Floating Rock Comics. In the bio, it says, issue 1 of The Herd is edging ever closer to being finished. We can't wait to release it in print and digital. Bring the hype. I just did. I just brought the hype. There you go. All right, Floating Rock Comics. Some announcements to start off the night. This podcast started February 26th. We're over 4 months into this. That's pretty neat. It feels like a lot longer, but I don't know what that means. I guess it feels longer for some reason, but it's been a ton of fun. Yeah, over 4 months, almost 5 months, almost 5 full months. Announcement number 2, Killer Wolf is now live, and it's going to be running for an entire year through Comic Central. That's incredible. They have it on their homepage. They have it in the forum. Please read the script, be a part of it. Or if you don't want to donate it back to the community, whatever, if you want to make a logo and donate it, that'd be cool. Or revise the script or make a pencils or, pencil page or whatever, that'd be great. But if you just want to steal it and make your own comic and sell it, cool. Just let me know about it. I'd like to know. I mean, I'm not asking for anything in return. So yeah, Killer Wolf is, what do we call that? Open source comic script, I guess, for independent creators on Comic Central. Check that out. Announcement number 3, Star Wars Episode 8 sucks. It's really important to me that you know that. It's really, really important to me that you know that. I hear people enjoyed this movie, and I can't believe how bad it is. Actually, I guess I could because I saw Episode 7. I think Episode 8 is actually worse, but I dislike 7 more because it was so desperate to be liked. So yeah, it's important to me that you know that. I've been spending some time listening. I have my earbuds in throughout the day, here and there, listening to this just epic dissection of Episode 8 and everything it gets wrong, it's just an incredible amount. And this guy, I'll put a link to it in the description. I don't know the YouTube account. I guess I can look it up right now while I talk. This guy spends about 5 hours, I think, through 3 segments of YouTube movie, I guess. It's Mauler, Mauler. I'll link it though. But he just dissects it. I mean, the writing on this is just horrible. So, if you have an extra 5 hours to spare and you want to see a scene by scene dissection of this disgusting, terrible Star Wars movie, it's worth it. I've just been listening to it. You don't have to really watch it. It's more about listening. So I've been listening to it as I, cooked dinner or I sorted laundry. I was listening to it, stuff like that. Or tonight I was cutting cardboard as I do every Sunday night, and I was listening to it. It's great. Yeah, the dissection is great. The movie is horrible, and I want you to know that. I really do. Another announcement. I had this last week. I think I didn't really mention it, but I have a new logo that I'm using, and I like it a lot. I think I'm going to keep it. Not for the podcast, but for the Art of Justin Prime, just as a self, branding kind of thing. I've been kind of wanting a new logo for a little bit, and it was just something I wasn't going to put time into. But I subscribe yearly to this thing called the nounproject.com. I've talked about it before. It was like $20, I think, for a year. I think it was a very reasonable price, but I'm not going to make a logo for myself right now, so I decided to go to the Noun Project, which is, I don't know, I don't know how many there are, millions. I don't know, icons that people make and upload, and I don't know how they get paid. It's probably through the subscription, and then I don't know. I'm not even going to guess. I don't know, but yeah, different icon makers upload to the nounproject.com. There's icons for all kinds of stuff. I use them on my. I think I have some on my website. But I figured, you know what? So if you subscribe, I believe you can use any icon for any reason with, royalty free, I believe. But the one I picked is a Creative Commons one anyway, so I don't owe anybody anything. I can use it for whatever I want, which is really cool. It's actually a logo that I picked. I had, like over a year ago, I had attempted to make a therapy website for myself under my real name. And my original idea for the website was I want to call it like anti-therapy or something. Not because I'm anti-therapy, because there's a lot of misconceptions about mental health and how therapy works and whatnot. There's like the popular understanding of it. And then when you work in the field, or at least just my impression of it, a lot of what we believe to be true about mental health and how people get better and the likelihood of them getting better is wrong. And things are more hopeful on my end. I believe that, and I've seen that. So I was going to call it anti-therapy, just to kind of give it like a cool kind of edge to it, and really speak against some of these misconceptions, these myths that I hear from people who aren't actually in the mental health field. So yeah. Oh, so the logo that I'm using for the Art of Justin Prime was the logo that I was going to be using for that. And it clicks. I love that logo. It's this X thing, the X logo with like a badge around it or something. And I really just fell in love with that icon for some reason. And I realized, hey, I could use that for the Art of Justin Prime. It makes no sense. I just like the way it looks. It doesn't have anything to do with art. It's just a really cool logo that means something to me. I don't know what it means, but it means something to me. Maybe it's because I try to do things differently. Maybe that's why. I make an attempt to, if everyone thinks this way, I'm going to make an attempt to think the other way and experience that and see where it goes. So maybe that X, what that symbolizes, just me on a personal level. That's why it speaks to me. I don't know, but I have a new logo and I like it a lot. I love it. And if you're looking for a logo, just hit up the nounproject.com. You can actually pay per download. So if you know what you want and you find it, and you pay a few bucks, and then it's yours. But read the fine print or whatever, make sure I'm not misleading you there, but I believe that's the way it works. Yeah, so I'm happy I finally have a use for that X icon. I love it. And the final announcement, please give me a rating on iTunes. I only have a few of them. That kills me. It makes me sad. So if you're listening on iTunes, which most of you are, it makes a difference. Please give me a rating. No pressure, though. No pressure, but lots of guilt. No, I'm not going to do that to you guys. Anything would be appreciated, good or bad. Just leave a rating, please. All right, so let's do my personal artist inventory challenge. But first, let's talk about my major goals. Getting AstroPig published. I want merchandise. I want backpacks with 06 on it. I want AstroPig bed sheets for my kids to sleep in. I want all of it. My other major goal is community building. That's for my Discord, the Jprimecast community. That's one part. And the other, not just in numbers, but in quality. I'm just so happy to say that people in that community are making some big moves in style and I don't know, a bunch of different areas. There's some real growth happening there. I mean, across the board, it's pretty neat. And the other part of community building is just the indie community in general. I'd like to see us, I want us to know each other. And that's a big reason why I donated Killer Wolf to Comic Central. I want, I want to support independent creators, as much as I can within reason, And the third major goal I have is mentorship. I want people to say that they graduated from the school of Justin Prime, something like that, Like Brendan and I are wrapping up, and he feels really good about the work we did, and I love that we did such good stuff, I think, and he thinks, and I want more people saying like, I worked with Justin Prime, and man, it really helped me. That's what I want. So as a mentor. is part of that ego. Yeah, absolutely. But I love seeing the growth that Brendan has made. It's so cool, and he's just doing his thing and kicking ass right now. Brendan and I have one more talk left. We had one last 2 nights ago, Friday night, and that'll publish on Wednesday. And then we have one left. That's it. So yeah, I'll be starting up with my new mentee. We don't have a date set yet, but soon after that. So yeah, that's coming up. Very excited about it. New beginnings. All right, so now my personal artist inventory challenge. My projects are Astropig and community building. Killer Wolf is in the hands of Comic Central, as you know, and I'm really happy they're pushing it and they're letting people know about it. And there's been a couple responses already. And as far as people asking me questions about it, so that's cool. I really hope Killer Wolf is helpful to people. All right, obstacles. What went wrong this week? Not a whole lot went wrong. Actually, I guess there's a couple things. Kids were sick this week. I was sick the past about 24 hours. It wasn't a big thing. Jay was sick about a couple of days. Bella was sick for a few days. Possible strep throat stuff. We'll find out once the lab results are back. I have a slight sore throat, but just my body felt just exhausted and heavy. Couldn't regulate my temperature very well. But it was I'm pretty much over it, I think. So, yeah, being sick really slows things down. I have a hard time being creative when I'm sick and feeling like garbage. Same thing when my kids are sick. It's, they kind of take up the attention. Although I was able to sneak some time in. I took the day off with Jade to take care of him. And he was just hanging out on my lap, so I was able to do a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough. So, yeah, kids were sick. I was sick. And then last night I went out with my wife and my in-laws. We had some adult time. That was cool. Went and saw a comedy show. It was pretty raunchy. That was awesome. Except the idiots behind us. It was like girls' night out. Oh, so annoying. They just chit-chatted the whole time. Like, why are you there? Why would you come to a comedy show where you have to be quiet and listen? And then you just chit-chat about your kids and, it's girls' night out, but like they're, not, they were like married and or had kids and they were out, which is cool. Fine. I don't care. But shut up and listen to the comedian. They were drinking. It's drunken girls' night out. Annoying as hell. All right. So I had to turn around and tell them and ask them to be quiet. And they did for the most part. It was too annoying. I don't like to be that person. I really don't, but it was so annoying. So yeah, we went out last night. I came home and I just crashed. I went to sleep as soon as I could. So yeah, Saturday night down the tubes. Friday night I talked to Brendan. Didn't do any drawing that night, and but I was able to squeeze some time in the rest of the week. Yeah, this weekend was kind of a bust. Dang, I didn't draw it all today. No, I tried to. I tried to do the challenge from last week, and I failed. Yeah, I didn't really draw it all today, and yesterday, nope. And the day before that, Friday, I don't think so. Maybe a little bit. I don't know. I don't think so. 4th of July kind of sucked. We just kind of stayed home. Jay was sick. I didn't want to go out and do anything at all anyway, so I didn't care. But we just stayed home and hung out as a family, watched the movie, and I think we had pizza or something. I don't know. All right, so anyhow, I'm going to get back on track here. Obstacles. Astropig. Kids were sick. I was sick. Night out. And then a big obstacle here as far as the story goes is I found myself deviating significantly from the script. I can get it back on track, but I basically cut out a whole chunk. And what's interesting is I didn't plan this out. It was just basically, and this might be a fault. It was basically like I wanted the image. I wanted this image, this double-page spread of the giant jumping onto the scene, right? And Astropig using his jetpack to propel himself upward to check out what's going on. And it looks really cool, but I basically put the image before the story, and that's not really a great idea. I think it worked out. I think it will work out just fine. And this is a big problem with episode 8, was the writer-director, who was the same guy. There were certain scenes you could tell he wanted in there, and he wrote around those scenes to make them make sense, and it just doesn't make sense. Watch that 5-hour thing, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. So much of that movie was this guy. He wanted certain scenes in there, and it just didn't make sense. The biggest one was Captain Phasma being there and how they dragged out that scene. It should have been a lot shorter. This is a spoiler alert. Skip ahead a couple minutes if you want. But yeah, Captain Phasma comes in out of nowhere. Rather than just killing Finn and Rose, who was an idiot, both of them, she wants to torture them somehow, but then says to decapitate them with these like space axes, which is ridiculous. And then the most ridiculous thing happened in the movie, one of the most, which is the purple-haired lady launched her ship into hyperspace and broke through I think it was Snoke's ship. So they were using hyperspace as a weapon, which is just weird. Anyhow, so everyone survives that blast. No, I'm sorry. No one survived the blast except for Finn and Rose. Everyone else around them was dead. But Captain Phasma was right by them. And then somehow she survived and walked onto the scene again, this time with a whole new like small army of stormtroopers, which weren't there before. And all of them got killed off during that blast anyways. So it was basically the guy was just writing, I want to have this confrontation here. I want to have this cool effect here. And then I want the confrontation to continue, even though it makes no continuity sense. So anyhow, as far as my story goes, I didn't know it, but I wanted that visual in place. And I think it's a really good one. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. But I think it works out. So originally it was supposed to be Astro Pig. I'm sorry, the giant comes stomping onto this village, of the twerp village, right? And Astro Pig looks up at it. That was originally what it was supposed to be, and him just kind of commenting on what was going on, and the twerps were going to run and hide. So the twerps still run and hide. And then what was supposed to happen was they were supposed to hide underground, and then Astro Pig was supposed to go underground with them. That's how it was originally supposed to be, and then we have like an underground scene, and Astro Pig was going to do some more observing down there about the rock types and blah blah blah. It was okay. It would have worked just fine. There's a lot of investigation, observing kind of stuff going on, but I don't think it's as strong as what I have. So now we have the giant jumping in, Astro Pig. The twerps are hiding. Astro Pig launches up, and it's an upward angle. People seem to really enjoy it from the feedback that I've gotten. I think it's a strong image. But this makes sense with Astro's character, actually, because he's not really a fearful character. He wouldn't jump underground. He'd want to see what's going on. So I think the original way that I wrote it was not in tune with the character. Honestly, I think it was more to develop the twerps, which aren't the focus of the story. It's Astro and him helping the situation with the giant. So I think the way it worked out is better. So now it's him going to the most interesting thing happening, which is the giant, obviously, not the twerps hiding. So I think it worked out really well. But I think it's more of a happenstance. Like it wasn't supposed to work out that way. But I think I know Astro well enough to where I'm glad I drew him doing that. Just sort of, I know how he would do things without it. I didn't think it out. I didn't plan it out. I just wanted the image. But I also think I knew Astro well enough to where that made sense. So it worked out okay. But I don't think it's a good idea to like draw or write for the image or write for the, what you want to have happen. Hopefully, if that makes sense. I think we have to kind of write where the characters take us. So this worked out. It's totally true to the character, maybe even more true to the character. But that was as a potential obstacle. So my worry now is I'll go with this. I'll continue that. But I'm going to have people read it ahead of time to get some feedback to make sure that the story flows and that there's a continuity, especially because I have so many double splash pages and it's I have to make sure that the story actually flows and it makes sense. I want kids to be able to understand what's going on. At least, I want them to understand what's going on. Comics can be kind of difficult. This is a very simple, very beginner type of comic, so it shouldn't be that difficult. But there are a few different locations. Time does pass. and I have to make sure that's clear. So that's a potential obstacle right now. It's not a big deal. We'll see how it goes. Community building. Nobody new has joined the Jprimecast community in quite a while. It's been a very long time. I know a handful of people listen to this. Not a handful, I mean, pretty good amount, pretty good chunk. And I know they're all independent creators. So, I guess I'm wondering, like, are people not into the idea of being a part of a community? I know I wasn't up until I started it, and I realized how valuable it is. So maybe people don't get it. Now, I'm also kind of wondering, should I start recruiting people? I did that with, I think there's a handful of people that are there. At least a handful were people that I asked to come in. But there's also been people I asked to come in who didn't work out and are no longer in it. So, it's like, the numbers in the group aren't important to me. It's about quality. I have great quality people there. But I also do want some fresh blood in there. And I think there's value in bringing people in or having people join. So, if you're listening and you're open to something like that, like, we do want people to come in. We do want people to join it. It's a great group. So I don't know. That's kind of an obstacle for me is that it's not growing. The podcast is growing day by day. It's getting bigger and bigger, but the Jprimecast community is not. It probably would if I advertised it on Instagram, but it's not about. I don't want everyone there, and I want people there because they like the way I draw venom. I want people that are creating and want that kind of support and challenge and feedback, So that's kind of an obstacle for me, or just something I've noticed and I was thinking about. Another obstacle here for community building is I've been doing obviously less podcasting. My focus, I told you I'm not going to do any more interviews until AstroPig is done, and it sucks. Like it doesn't suck; it's my choice. But I miss it. I really enjoy doing that. And I see people all the time where it's like, oh, that they'd be cool to talk to. But I'm sticking to my goal of completing AstroPig. I have to. I have to complete this. I must. I'm not gonna. Yeah. So that's it right now. So that's an obstacle. Is I haven't been doing as much podcasting at all. I've had this and one more episode per week. That's been going, but. And this next week on Wednesday, I'll have my talk with Brendan, and then I think that's it. I don't have anything else scheduled except my last talk with Brendan, and that's not out for another month. So, next week might be the last week with two episodes. And I wanted to do like a blogcast, but I haven't been doing blogging. I haven't really had the inspiration to write anything, and the idea of setting aside 30 minutes for like a thought stream, it just seems like way too much time to take away from AstroPig. So I've done zero blogging. So I have a couple things I could read for the podcast, but when I read them back, I'm honestly just not proud of them. It's not something I want to put in audio form. So, the podcast is gonna have a lot less content, which hurts me. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. And no blogging. These are still things I want to get back to, but AstroPig, and that's it. I mean, it has to be that and this weekly thing, So let's look at my successes. AstroPig. I got 2 more pages done. It's another double-page spread. I'm really happy with the way it looks. I think it enhances the story rather than takes away from it. I'm really proud of the way it looks. I think it looks pretty cool. Successes. I think deviating from the script in this situation actually was a benefit. I think it adds to the story and adds to the character. And also, when I do that, it makes me reevaluate what I'm doing. It makes me think about, does this actually make sense? And does it make sense for what comes next in the script? And in this case, it did. Successes for AstroPig, not the book, but the Instagram account, AstroPig, with a 0 and a 6 for the O and the G. AstroPig has picked up a handful of new followers through his time in Hawaii and Australia. Thank you to the 2 people that hosted the account. Yeah, so he picked up a handful of followers, maybe 8 to 10, something like that. He'll be in Texas next, and possibly Singapore. And I'll probably show some of my camping trip because he went with us. Actually, he was in Australia. Or no, he was in Hawaii, but I'll make it look like he was with us. Oh, see, now I'm breaking the character. Darn it, sorry. So anyhow, that's going very slowly, but I think it'll pick up. I think it'll be something that's a slow roller, and then it'll pick up really quick, very big, really, very quickly. That's my hope, at least. Successes with community building. My mentorship with Brendan overall, man, it's been a great relationship. I hope you guys have listened to the J Prime and B Dog series, or actually watched it on YouTube. Most of the episodes are on YouTube, or on my website, theartofjustinprime.com. There's a mentorship tab. Go to J Prime and B Dog. It's been such a wonderful experience. It's seriously been great. I feel like I've grown. Brendan tells me he's grown. Just the whole thing has been a win for me, and I think for him. Great experience. So yeah, that's a big time success. I talked with him on Friday, and it was nothing but love. And he's very motivated. He's got his first convention coming up. Yeah, I think it's a big deal that we're recording that, and that I know people are benefiting from it. So I think it's a win. I think that's a success. Another success is, I shared my episode 8 thoughts, as I have done here as well. And I shared a couple of posts. I did a whole bunch of highlights or stories, which just turned into a highlight. The episode 8 sucks highlight that you can check out right now if you like. But I took a bunch of photos of me and my feet watching the movie, and just my LOLs and thoughts on what was happening. And I shared a couple of my gallery, a couple of posts saying my thoughts and a very short critique of it. And I got a whole bunch of comments. That was a big win. Some new interactions with people. I love that people agree and they're like, thank you for saying this. Or people would DM me saying, like, everyone likes this. Thank you so much. Like, it's validating to hear someone that has the same opinion, And I guess I learned, I think what I learned, let me go off on a little tangent here. I don't do a very good job of being transparent. Brendan's doing a fantastic job. He shows his workout. He shows what he's eating. He shows his drawing. He shows his hangout time with his friends, Mario Kart stuff. His whole life is just, if you check out the stories, you can see him and really get to know him. I show, barbecuing and cheap beer, and music I'm into, and artwork, but in my stories at least. But that's all pretty safe stuff. I rarely show myself. Not rarely, but I don't show myself too often. I don't really show a whole lot of myself, I don't feel. That's something that's me, that's how I am. So being transparent, who does a great job of that is Grunt 1B Comics. I talked to him, and we have a couple episodes on the podcast that you should listen to. Man, he's transparent as all hell. He puts everything out there. So he's on one end of the spectrum, and I'm not all the way on the other end of the spectrum, but I'm definitely more on the reserved side of things. And that's always been a challenge for me to break out of that. So what I realized was the times when I get the most comments are when I share an opinion, like on a movie. That's happened a couple times. I don't do it very much. Like an opinion, especially about like a controversial, fan battle kind of thing. Like about, I don't know, Batman versus Superman, which also sucked, or Star Wars, which was terrible. But putting opinions out there, because it's not just like showing my artwork and saying here, and then people are saying cool. It's like this. I'm saying this is what I think about this thing, and then people are responding to what I think. So I think it's a difference. Like, showing my artwork is just showing my artwork. It's not really saying anything about it or about anything that would like touch someone's life or their thoughts or memories. Really, I don't think. But when I say, hey, this movie sucks and here's why, then people can say no or yes and share, So it's really like, kind of like initiating a conversation. And that is something that I'm horrible at. I don't like talking to people. I never have. As a therapist, I listen. I do more listening than talking. But I'm not good, especially at initiating conversation. I'm not good at that. So I think that's a big obstacle for me for community building. Yeah, it is. It is. But just my social media in general and utilizing that effectively, I'm not social. I'm not too personal. Almost at all. I don't feel comfortable with that stuff. I don't like initiating. I don't like starting conversation. So I really have to find new ways to do that. And I think sharing thoughts on a movie, that's an easy way. An easy way and an effective way, and it's true to me and it's true to my fan base, which is nice too. But I don't know. Maybe I should look for more opportunities to do that. That's an area where I can grow. I know that that's like my lifelong struggle. But I'm cool with being an introvert. I'm fine with it. But it kind of goes against the whole social media thing, So I don't know. That's something I have to think about. Maybe that'd be a good blog idea. Is just processing those thoughts because I'm not sure how much farther I can take that right now. But yeah, I don't know. Well, I do know. Yeah. So let me get back on track here. Community building successes. Sharing my thoughts on episode 8, which was terrible. And number 3, community building success. Killer Wolf was live. I've already talked about that past few weeks probably. But I heard from a couple of people who were interested in the script or in the idea. So that was cool. People are reading it and they're seeing it on Comic Central. That gets me really excited. Another community building. This isn't independent artist community building exactly. It's more my fan base building. I got a Venom piece reposted by MCG_Venom. MCG stands for Marvel. I believe it stands for Marvel Comics Group. I think. There's a bunch of MCGs and it's like a role play account. I don't want to. It's not a role play account. Some of them are, but the MCG Venom, they repost a lot of artwork, Venom and symbiote stuff. And whoever runs that account has been so supportive of me for years now. So I wanted to, so they shared or reposted one of my recent Venom pieces, and I got like 60 new followers from that the past couple of days, which is a good chunk. Especially after I seriously lost I want to say at least 80 followers the past few weeks. So I got a good chunk of them back. I think it was more like 100. I think it was like 100. It ended up being. So yeah, I got a whole bunch of new followers, which is cool. But again, these are people that like my Venom artwork, which is fine. I like drawing Venom. I love drawing Venom. A number of them I looked at their, I DM all of them and I check out their accounts, and there's some artists that follow me now. A few of them really enjoy the Venom artwork, or they do their own Venom artwork. So definitely community building for the art of Justin Prime, not necessarily for the independent community, but good stuff though. Good stuff. So what I want to draw I did draw an exclusive Venom piece for MCG Venom. I kind of want to do another one because I feel like I could do more with it. I basically just added the symbiote chest symbol, the spider symbol, to a recent one that I posted where it wasn't there. So I feel like I kind of copped out. I want to do more for MCG Venom, and give them him or her or whoever something really epic that they can share. So they shared something recently. Plus, I want to give them something to post exclusively through their account as like the first to get the first eyeballs on it. But I don't think it was good enough. I kind of want to do another one. So yeah. Then number 5. Something new I've started for community building is I've started to thank the people who leave the first comment and the first heart. I have no idea if this is effective for anything whatsoever. It's just more being nice and initiating not conversation, but initiating connection with the people that are following me on social media. So that's something new I've started this past week or so. But what it does do is I leave a comment thanking whoever, and then they reply. So it does create comments, which helps boost your post to get beyond the initial 10% that it first, gets exposed to. So that's it. My goal for the week is I just want to continue working on AstroPig. That's really it. There's lots of things I would like to do, like I just mentioned, processing my thoughts about social media and being an introvert through a blog. That'd be great, but I'm not going to prioritize that. I would like to learn about Instagram algorithms. I've been wanting to do that for quite a while, but I'm not. I guess I might be able to listen to something like that while I work. But there's tons of stuff I'd like to do, but I need to get AstroPig done. I feel like I can't take myself seriously until I do. I have to. Who's following me this week? It's at La Nera Malavolpe. I don't know. Malavolpe. LA_Nera_Malavolpe. I'll put it in the description. He's always in my newsfeed, which is that's so cool. Comments and hearts and whatnot. It's just very, very appreciated on my end. Thank you, La Nera Malavolpe. And he draws a mean Venom too. I was looking through his stuff tonight, and he draws a mean Venom. I dig it. I didn't realize that, so I learned something new. All right, last week's challenge updates. I attempted tonight to draw my hand a couple times. I tried to draw, a couple different things that were around me while I was sitting on the couch while Jay was having a bath. My wife was watching him, so I tried to draw. And I got so bored, I just stopped. I'm sorry, Luke, it was a good idea, but I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I just wasn't into it. That's not my headspace. Like I was just saying, AstroPig is my priority, and I feel like I have to get it done. So that's my head. That's where my head is at right now. That and how much Star Wars sucks. Episode 8 and 7. But so I couldn't break that headspace and do the challenge. Well, I won't say I couldn't, but I didn't. Luke has hit me up through DM right now. He says, "Am I awake or recording?" I'm writing back, "I'm recording." We'll see what happens. So, that's where my head is right now. I don't want to slow down and draw anything else besides maybe Venom every now and then, because it's such a good break. That's it. So I failed on last week's challenge. Sorry, Luke. I let you down. I let you all down. I'm sorry. But let's take a listen to what the new. Sorry, I'm reading my outline. I gotta make sure I'm up here. Yeah. All right. Let's take a listen to what the new challenge is from Luke.
Sup, Jprimecasters. Luke here with this week's weekly challenge. This week's challenge is inspired by Gordon Wills, otherwise known as GL Wills 1126. And the challenge is outrageous Spidey poses. Do a crazy Spidey pose, get him all twisted up, have some fun with it. I want to see pretzels. Let's go, people. Catch.
Luke, I absolutely can do this one. This is right up my alley. There's zero excuses for me this time. Spider-Man's so much fun to draw. Dynamic poses and angles are fun to draw. I should be able to do this. It'll be a good breather from AstroPig. So as long as I'm making good pace on Astro, this sounds like an amazing challenge. Thank you. So challenge accepted, and we will see where it goes. Thanks, Luke. So if you're still listening, you definitely belong in the Jprimecast community. Oh yeah, Steve Ditko died. That's a great idea, Luke, man. Yeah, I'm talking to Luke right now through DMs, and he said that he reminded me that Steve Ditko died. Yeah, it's so timely. It's just perfect, man. All right. Where was I? Oh, if you're listening still, you definitely belong in the Jprimecast community. It's by invite only, so I don't know who you are. Just let me know who you are. DM me, email me, justinprime@yahoo.com, or DM the Art of Justin Prime on Instagram. Just let me know. We're looking for people to join that are motivated for growth and challenge and can accept feedback. That's all that we're requiring. Doesn't cost anything, and it's a lot of good times. So yeah, hey, thank you very much for listening to episode 20. Enjoy my second to last talk with Brendan on Wednesday, and I will come back to you on next Monday morning. Bye.
I would have waited an eternity for this. It's over, Prime.